Week after week, we have the greatest guests, the best speakers, all here on the ASSC Mic Drop. I'm Aidan Crawford, and this is the ASSC Mic Drop. What we are is we're a collective of speakers. We are not a bureau. And every week, we're going to be featuring one of our speakers on this in-depth dive into the speaking business. If you're a meeting planner, this is a great opportunity to meet some new speakers and find out. Well, they're not always new. They're sometimes very, very veteran. And if you're a speaker, this is a great way to get some insights into how some speakers are actually running their business. Now, if you want to attract top talent without increasing costs, the speaker that we bring in today is going to be really interesting. I like Bill Humbert a lot. He's very funny, very, very interesting. He's had a very, very exciting life. His website is recruiterguy.com, and he's the top organic result for talent attraction consultant. He's got 40 years of recruiting experience, and he speaks internationally on proven strategies that boost productivity, improve retention, and drive revenue. So if you want to learn more about how you can introduce Bill to your audience, follow on after the interview, and you will be able to see if you're on YouTube or listen if you're on one of the podcast platforms to Bill's 8-minute showcase reel, which is all no sizzle, it's all steak. Very good to listen to. He's a great speaker, and I'm really excited to bring him on. So here he is, Bill Humbert. Bill, it's so good to have you here today.
Aiden, it's so much fun to be here with you.
Well, it's almost like we never speak. You've
Oh,
been a member of the ASSC from probably the beginning, I think, so a couple of years. You're a speaker, obviously. This is a podcast for speakers and for the people that hire speakers. And I always like to start with the journey towards being a speaker because you are the recruiter guy. So what was so you're in the talent and attraction business. That's kind of that's kind of your wheelhouse, your bailiwick. At what point did you make the decision that you could improve your business by speaking?
it's been an interesting journey. And what's kind of fun is the story of how I was named recruiter guy. I did not come up with that name. I was on a recruiting contract with MCI Telecommunications back in 1993.
Ooh.
No internet. And I was given a contract to recruit a minimum of 120 IT professionals to Cedar Rapids, Iowa
Ooh.
in 12 months. It's from January 1st of 93 to December 31st of 93. And I worked directly with the managers. HR was very helpful in terms of offer letters and stuff like that, giving approvals to open new openings. But it was the managers and I working together throughout that entire process. At December 31st, 1993, we counted noses and seats. I recruited with my managers 133 IT professionals to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and out of that, only 30 did not need to be relocated.
Oh, wow. So you found them locally.
And so I found them all over the United States, literally. And I had a marketing firm working and helping me, and Lori Gentle was amazing. And so Lori, one day I was talking to her on the phone, and she said, "Hey, we've got a new name for you." And I said, "What's that?" She said, "We're going to call you Recruiter Guy."
It's like a superhero
Like a
for HR.
superhero. Exactly. Exactly. So that's where I got Recruiter Guy. Um, and so when I started speaking, I actually started speaking in during that period of time, but I was speaking at career fairs to people who were looking for jobs
Hmm.
and helping them in their career search. Whether they came to work for us or not didn't matter. I'd be at the career fair and I'd be telling them how to work a career fair, first of all. And then I started talking with college students, HR students, on how to attract candidates as opposed to how to acquire candidates. And attracting candidates is far better because now they want to come to work for your client or your company. And so that was the start of my speaking.
And so now I can tell, like, when you're speaking at career fairs and you're speaking at colleges, not a lot of money in that. So who is your target now when you do speak?
My target now are two groups primarily, and that the first group is the association business, because that way I can touch many companies at one time. The other is corporate events, or going in and speaking with the managers of and executives, more importantly, of companies, and then walking them through the talent attraction process that's different than talent acquisition.
And so when you speak, are you generally a keynoter or is it more of a breakout session where you're kind of giving them a how-to?
My that is usually a breakout session. My keynote is one that's based on proper goal setting. And the power of proper goal setting, I've spoken on 3 continents now, and that's kind of fun.
Wow. Now, when you say goal setting, this reminds me that you once told me a story about going across the United States hitchhiking, and obviously back in the days when hitchhiking was I don't know if it was safe and encouraged, but it was certainly safer and more encouraged than it would be today. Maybe you could tell us a bit about that story because I think it's important for the people that are decision makers in the association or corporate world to kind of get a sense of the storytelling that you bring to it. Like I've heard this story a couple times. It's really fascinating, and I don't want to put you on a spot and say, here, give me your keynote. But if you can just kind of give us a quick synopsis on that little adventure.
So Aiden, can we put this on pause? I can
Yeah,
get one of the signs.
yeah. So tell me a bit about the story.
So Easter Sunday, 1969. I was a sophomore in college, and I'd paid my way through Catholic high school. I was paying my way through Assumption College. And you know what? I was working all the time, plus studying, and I just needed a break. And Easter Sunday, 1969, I was reading the Washington Post from home, and I saw an ad that was about that size, and it was from Greyhound Bus. And they said that they would get you from DC to LA in 5 days. Well, I've ridden the bus back and forth from Worcester, Massachusetts to DC, and I thought, if Greyhound can do it, I can do it. And so I set a goal to hitchhike from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles in 5 days. And, I did a really good job. Morgan Wooten, who was really known as a high school basketball coach, I went to DeMatha High. Morgan Wooten taught me how, he was on the Washington Post paper route. He taught me how to properly set goals. And in 2010, I created an acronym, so long past my hitchhiking time. But I was looking at how I planned my trip, and I created the acronym SCAMPS. And so that's my keynote, is how to correctly set a goal so that you get the power from goal setting.
So tell me about scamps. Give me what does it mean? It's an acronym.
So the first S stands for the goal must be specific, and even more importantly, strategy to achieve the goal. And so that's really important, because once you have that, then the rest falls in line. The C is it has to be challenging. So wouldn't you agree that hitchhiking from Washington, D.C. to LA is challenging?
Pretty challenging.
Yeah. The A is it has to be attainable. Well, I had this ad from Greyhound saying they would get you from DC to LA in 5 days, and I figured if they can do it, I can do it. The M is it has to be measurable. So you have to have places where you can tell whether you're on track or not to meet your goal. And our one of our ways of measuring was we knew we had to be in Kansas City by the second night in order to make it all the way to California in 5 days. And by the way, we did. And
Spoiler alert.
yeah, the the P stands for public. And I tell people, make sure it's the people who support you. Don't go to people and tell them about your goal who would say, you can't do that. Like my father. My father's last words to me the night before I left to go hitchhiking across country was, well, Bill, they're going to find you dead in a field with a bullet hole in your head. And I went, oh, well, thanks, Dad. But I didn't let that bother me. So in my process, I found this fluorescent orange board, and then I found the fluorescent yellow paint, and I started painting signs for KC, St. Louis, all the way across country, and LA. And this sign was for San Francisco. And as you can see, Frisco almost didn't fit on the sign, so San Francisco wasn't going to fit. And so I created the sign, and Aiden, I only used this sign one day out of 15,000 miles of hitchhiking
Wow,
over,
15,000 miles.
over 2 years. And when I used this sign, we got a ride on the way out to LA with a family, and there was a a husband and wife and their probably 3-year-old child in the back seat, and they were in what today we would call an ejection seat that had the hooks over the back seat.
Yeah.
and, and but they picked us up and they said, "Would you help us drive to LA?" And this was just north of Wichita, Kansas.
Wow.
And so they gave us a ride all the way to Huntington Beach.
So I see some really interesting. So I love that concept, and I'm trying to think. I could see that as a great keynote for leaders that need to set those goals, or for companies going through a transition or some kind of turbulent times. Setting that goal setting is really important, and teaching, especially in the current economy and the way things are working, actually. Setting those goals and goal setting as a way to kind of get you through hard times seems like a message that would really resonate. When you combine that with your talent attraction breakout session, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch. Like, you can do a nice little keynote, like kickoff keynote in the morning, where you tell this great story about hitchhiking as a way to set goals, and then on the same day, you could deliver a breakout session on talent attraction, so so people can attend that, how to bring in the right team to make those goals happen.
That's correct. Exactly. And we set goals when I was on my hitchhike because we had to, right? We had to set goals in order to meet that goal of a minimum of 120 IT professionals in Cedar Rapids, Iowa in 12 months. Think about it. There was no internet back then.
Yeah. And
So
so how did you, I don't want to ask because obviously nobody will ever need to replicate that, because we have the internet, we have AI, we have everything now. But what, as far as when you're speaking to an association, uh, you know, what is the ROI of bringing in Bill Humbert? Like, what is, when I'm making a decision on bringing in a speaker, why would I bring in you, other than that great story about the hitchhiking, which, every speaker has like kind of a signature story. I'm glad yours isn't about a starfish. Um, but having that really important signature story, that's a hook that brings decision makers to you, and it engages the audience as well. And I think, for speakers that are listening to this podcast today, as opposed to even the people that are make the decisions on bringing speakers in, if you're a speaker, having that kind of a hook makes you really a lot. It separates you from everybody else because it's your story, right? Like, you're not just the recruiter guy who's coming in and talking about talent retraction. You've got a story that people can relate to, and and they can invest themselves in, which, everybody sat through one of those keynotes where it's so boring. You're just you can't wait to get to the lunch after it's done. And, but when you've got that hooky story that people want to like get to the end of, it's like, did he make that 5 days? But obviously Bill gave us the spoiler. He did make it in 5 days. That's great. If you are looking for Bill, I will say right below in the description, you will find a direct link to his showcase page. The ASSC is not a bureau or anything like that. You work directly with Bill. I've known Bill for a couple of years. He's a good guy to work with. He really embraces the ethos of be a partner, not a pain. If you're looking for a speaker who delivers quality all the time, every time, has a message that resonates and is topical, uh, and will be a partner and not a pain, Bill Humbert is a good guy. Now, after this, we're going to throw to the showcase video and, watch it. It's 8 minutes long, 7 minutes long, something like that. It's got a great introduction from Carolyn Strauss, who we both love and adore. And yeah, contact Bill, talk to Bill. His contact information is on his showcase page. You can certainly just reach out directly to him. If you're a speaker, reach out to Bill. He has great insights. He's a smart guy. And if you're a company looking to recruit, you still do that, don't you? Don't you, Bill?
Oh, absolutely.
Still do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So if you're looking for a superstar recruiter guy, that's the guy. There he is.
Yeah. Wherever, like,
Wherever you are on the screen, that's where Bill is. That's who I'm
yeah.
pointing.
And I do something different as a recruiter. I work with one company at a time and I charge a flat monthly fee.
Oh,
So it
okay.
doesn't matter how many people I recruit for that company in a single month, they pay me the same flat fee.
That's fantastic. So your business model is you will you've got the keynotes, you got the breakouts, then you've got your business that's underneath it. So that's fantastic. All right. So we're just going to quickly throw over to Bill's showcase, watch it, enjoy it, and reach out to him. He's a good guy. All right. Thanks a lot, Bill.
Thanks, Aiden. It was fun.
There we go. Nice and easy.
Yep. So the day that I used this was the
Our
one.
next speaker is Bill Humbert, recruiterguide.com. Bill is the Google and Bing #1 ranked talent attraction consultant with 40 plus years of professional recruiting and consulting experience, mingled with 26 plus years of professional career coach experience. Bill is uniquely qualified to speak on talent attraction and career search. He's sometimes known as the candidate whisperer. Please welcome Bill Humbert.
Thank you, Carolyn. I speak on a leadership topic that is so painful that few people speak on it, and fewer still are qualified to speak on it. The topic is known as recruiting, talent acquisition, and my personal favorite, talent attraction. Let's take a fresh look at recruiting from a talent attraction perspective. Talent attraction recruiting mirrors the sales process perfectly, line by line, step by step. We'll not go through all 12 steps, just the ones that need immediate attention. What is the first step in the sales process? Determine a need to fill. What is the first step in the recruiting process? Determine if a company needs a new or replacement position filled. What is the second step in the sales process? Create a solution. In recruiting, too often the solution is the lowly job description. This is how important the job description is. The entire balance of the talent attraction process is based on the job description. If the description is on target, you will find the right candidates. If not, well, the third step in sales is sourcing potential clients. Do sales professionals post their openings on the internet and hope some company replies? If so, how long would they remain employed? Isn't that the process that most companies employ for sourcing candidates? They post and pray that the best qualified candidate happens to be looking at their posting right now. Okay, now's a great time to talk about human resource functions. HR has many important functions in a company: benefits, compensation, culture, employee development, employee relations, HR technology. Would you agree that those functions are administrative and compliance by nature? Would an administrator or compliance officer lead their company in sales? Take it one step at a time. Move recruiters' offices out of HR to the areas where the managers sit that they're supporting, just to increase their visibility. Include them in department meetings to better understand the candidates that they seek, and make them part of the manager's team. The fourth step in the sales process is the client needs analysis. In the recruiting process, it is the candidate interview. Managers who have not been trained to effectively interview certainly have never been trained to select the best qualified candidates. Does that make sense? Step 12 is retention and belongs in both the sales process and the talent attraction process. Think about it. The recruiter is the first person to be in touch with the candidate. If they build a relationship with the candidate, who's now an employee, that person will refer other qualified candidates to you, to the recruiter, and that way you'll be able to recruit them to your company. Additionally, every top talented employee that you retain is one less than you must recruit. Now, can I prove the talent attraction process works? The talent attraction is a process that I initiated with MCI Telecommunications in the fall of 1992, when I was on a recruiting contract with them supporting their new commercial billing system based in Arlington, Virginia. During a meeting with the IT director, he informed me that his 200-member IT team was transitioning to Cedar Rapids. I did not know what state Cedar Rapids was in. Hey, I grew up inside the Capital Beltway in Maryland. I asked 3 HR professionals in MCI's Virginia HR office, and they did not know what state Cedar Rapids was located. This is how I found out, and this is the dictionary I used. Guess what? Cedar Rapids is in Iowa. Well, my immediate thought was, oh, some poor recruiter out in the Midwest, boy, are they going to have problems. And then the director told me I was that recruiter. The director, Brian, told me that the clock starts on January 1st, 1993 and ends on December 31st, 1993. We needed a minimum of 120 IT professionals in the Cedar Rapids office on December 31st, 1993. And MCI was the largest IBM mainframe shop in Cedar Rapids. Most everybody were going to have to be relocated. So I created a recruiting strategy where during the last 2 weeks of every single month, I would take 3 to 4 managers to 2 to 3 cities and interview 18 to 24 candidates daily. We made hiring decisions nightly over dinner. With residential products like Friends and Family and 1-800-COLLECT, MCI was known nationwide, and it was one of those great places to work. Now, there was no internet to post positions. On December 31st, 1993, we counted noses in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We had 143 IT professionals in Cedar Rapids, only 10 people, employees, relocated from Virginia. We relocated 90 of those 133 IT professionals that I recruited with my team of managers and worked around 2 major commercial billing releases in 1993. I embedded myself at the commercial billing IT team. I knew daily what talent was needed, and when it was needed. In 20 months together, we recruited 220 IT professionals for Cedar Rapids. Talent attraction is not magic. Recruiting requires both focus and hard work. The transformation to talent attraction produces magical outcomes. Expect success.
Thank you so much, Bill. So I've decided that for the holidays, I'm going to get you a subscription to Google Maps so you know where everything is. But that was very fun. Thank you.